Hey, how's it going, guys? How's everything today? Um, Hopefully, you all had a productive day. Um, what a performance by uh, James Harden to start things off. I did not have him, but I still managed to cash uh, an hour before lock yesterday, and 30 minutes and up leading up until then was really crazy. I mean, wow, with all the news that came out from from scratches to uh, benchings and things like that. It was just a adventurous time before lock, and hopefully none of you all got burned by what went on yesterday. Um, I sure didn't. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. Yesterday, I pointed out a few things. I did the video based on you know, value plays, GPP plays, value plays, and punts, and deep GPP plays. So hopefully you guys benefited from some of those. I didn't really play Fanduel yesterday. I can recap my DraftKings lineup, and just to keep note, like I told you guys about some of those punts, GPP darts and things like that. I'm just not throwing it out there and giving you guys giving you guys some names and things like that. I actually play these guys, so I put up a 291. As you can see, my late night didn't cash. This Roto Grind, this bounty contest thing didn't cash, but everything in main cash, and that was good. All my cash games, and so getting into my buzzer beater, my three, I'll show you guys the results and my lineup and a quick recap of what I had, who I had, and what I played. If it will show up. I played. I kicked it off with I got Damian Lillard at low ownership, which I knew he'd be low owned in a game like that. It's just a matter of fact of taking those shots. At that price he was yesterday, he was around 7,800. I kind of figured he could hit value, so that was a good thing. He came in at 7.4 ownership. Nicholas Batum, someone who I couldn't believe was that low owned, and he's just a stat stuffer, man. I mean, what's not to like about him, especially at a favorable price? So I pulled the trigger on him. Carmelo Anthony disappeared on me in the fourth quarter. He came in at 33% ownership in my tournament. DeMarcus Cousins disappeared on me in the fourth quarter and overtime as well. They seemed like in the second half they locked down on him, but it is what it is. Willie Reed, I knew he'd be high on. Someone who I didn't want to pull the trigger on because of his higher price tag already. I think he was priced at 4,700. So he was someone that I probably didn't want to, roster in the first place, but I still went on ahead and pulled the trigger. And Marcus Smart, Marcus Smart was, the injuries, came out. I felt like he had to step his game up. I got him at 2.2% in in my tournament, and they just ended up beating Orlando down. I didn't think it was even going to go down like that. And Jonas Jabrecko, another one of the value plays that I pointed out, uh, he he did well coming in at 3K. And Justin Hamilton, he did well as well. So, as far as the value plays, I pointed a lot of those guys out, and I played a lot of those guys. I actually played 2 3K guys, and Willie Reed, which was chalk. Now, moving over to today. Let's get right into it. Let's go. What games do we have on tap? Let's see. Um, I've seen a few price discrepancies that I want to point out as well today. We got 7 games to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's try to get into them. I'm pressing for time, but it is what it is. Sacramento and Charlotte. These two teams this is the first time these two teams met this year. Last time these two teams met, there's a few things that I can point out for you guys. Let's see. Let's see. One game, I'll throw out a couple noticeable performances for you. Just back when they had Jeremy Lin, Kemba Walker had 24, 8, and 4. Marvin Williams had 21. Cousins had a super monster game in 56 and 12. 56 points and 12 rebounds and 4 assists. That was a monster game. Rondo had 20 and 10, and Gay had 20 and 9. That was one of the games. And the other game, in that game that I just pointed out, Batum didn't play. This one, Batum did play. He had 18 and 10, and then Kemba Walker went for 39, 6 and 5, and on the Kings side, Rudy Gay had 28 and 10. Cousins had 30 and 11. Rondo almost had a triple double with 14, 20 and 8. So these teams do have some high scoring history. Of course, they had Rondo on the Kings back then, but both games were over 120 points. 122 to 127 and 129 to 128. However, that was last year. This is this year. Kings are playing at a much slower pace. On the Kings side of the ball, DeMarcus Cousins is self-explanatory. He's just a stud. Coming off a back-to-back. Well, this is the second leg of the back-to-back. This game's total is 207. They got Charlotte favored by 7.5. Charlotte's at home. Derek Collison had a great game last night. He's priced at 4,900, a reasonable price, especially if he tends to step his game up. Ty Lawson, he played good as well. Somebody who I never really rostered, but they attacked Indiana yesterday, and a lot of the game, Derek Collison and was playing. These guys were playing the 1 and the 2. Garrett Temple had a disappointing game last game. He's priced at 4,300 on DraftKings. He's right around the same on DraftKings. Fanduel at 4,500. So he had a bad game last night. The minutes are still there for him. Go figure. Aaron Aflalo, a punt option, someone who's seeing a ton of minutes right now. Averaging over 30 minutes his last 4 or 5 games. Still minimum priced on DraftKings at $3K. He can make a difference for you if you're willing to go that option. Just a GPP punt, help you mash in a few studs. On the Charlotte side of things, Kemba Walker, he's 7,800 on DraftKings. and on Fanduel he is 8,300. I like the play. Batum, he's still priced down. I definitely like the play. I I can't say anymore. I mean, at 7,300 for what he can do, his peripherals are there. He does a little bit of everything. He doesn't, 35 upwards. We know his upside. He has 50-point upside. And like I said, his peripherals are there. He had 5 turnovers last game. Wonder what it would have been if he had a little. If he didn't have those, he probably would have had 50 fantasy points. He almost had a triple-double at 15, 11, and 9. So that's what he can bring to you. He definitely helped me out yesterday. Keep an eye out on the injury situation with Zeller. The rest of these guys, Michael Kidd gets because he logs a ton of minutes. Someone who I rarely roster. I don't mind rostering him. It's just that he just does a little bit of everything. He's really flies under the radar a lot, man. Someone who I'm not on. Jeremy Lamb. I guess he's finally off the report. He played the last few games. He's coming in at 4K. The minutes are there for him off the bench. Somebody who I don't mind at 4K. Somebody who I don't mind. Spencer Hawes. His price is creeping up. It's a mandatory that he's gonna have to do stuff. Probably have to get you, mid-20s, and that's something to look out for. Marco Bellinelli, Frank Kaminsky, all these are lower owned options, and low options that can help you cram in some studs. 7-game slate. I don't know how I'm going to approach it, but right now I'm just trying to go through a lot of the good plays. And I could point out a few cheap options. Detroit and Miami. These guys, Detroit has been playing Miami well. They've actually been beating them, mainly on account of the health. And Miami has just been terrible, man. It's been terrible. The total for this game is 203. Miami at home. They Detroit favored by 3. Last time these two teams played, I think they played probably like twice this year. For instance, back in November, Whiteside played 25 minutes. He had 6 points and 8 rebounds. And, Waiters had 11, 3 and 2. Tyler Johnson had 17 and 7. Dragic had 6 points, 4 assists, and two rebounds. Nobody really stood out on the Heat side. On the Pistons side, Tobias Harris had 17, 6 and 3. Drummond had 18 and 15. Caldwell Pope, someone who I like tonight, and I'll definitely get into that in a second. 22 and 5. So that was back in November. These teams just played on New Year's Day as well. Again, on the Heat side of things, they were very short-handed. They didn't have Dragic. They didn't have Whiteside. And everybody had semi-mediocre performances on the Heat side. Of course, the Heat lost that game. Drummond had 18 and 25 points and 18 rebounds. Caldwell Pope had a solid game in 23, 6 and 5. And Reggie Jackson had 27, 4 and 2. On the Detroit side of things, oops. Sorry about that, guys. On the Detroit side, keep an eye out for the injuries. It looks as though Detroit is getting back healthy. So, they're the healthiest they've been in a few weeks. Drummond in play, he's been smashing them. Reggie Jackson comes in at a cheaper option. Someone who I like, but someone who I can get burned back at the same token. These teams play slower pace. Miami will be at home. They try to slow things down. Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, Caldwell Pope, somebody who I really like this game. Probably one of my favorite plays coming in at 5,500. At that two guard position, he's at 5,500. He's at a point range where, he sits at most of the time. On Fanduel, he's at 5,700. He doesn't really go over 6K or get up to 6K like that, but he's very consistent. Another person I want to point out is John Lure. Consistent. He's pretty consistent at his price point at 4,500. He has 30-point upside coming. I have to figure out the starting lineups or whatever, but keep an eye on that. He does have. He's pretty efficient when he's coming off the bench, scoring wise, and he does have upside. A low cost player that can help you out. On FanDuel, he's around the same price, coming in at 4,600. I don't mind Drummond, especially at that price tag with that upside. We know what he can do. Reggie Jackson has upside on his price as well. Marcus Morris, like I say, it's a lot of, when you look at these guys right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the starting lineup, they do log heavy minutes, so something to look out. You never know when they'll blow somebody out. Miami could just have a bad scoring drought and end up getting blowed out at any given night because they're so short-handed. So with that being said, on the Miami side of things, keep an eye out on the Whiteside news. Tyler Johnson, all the injuries over here. It's just very bad and very unfortunate that these guys are so banged up. Dragic, I don't mind the play, though. He's been aggressive, when he's been healthy. At 7,500, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be looking to roster him. Maybe not. Deion Waiters, he's been aggressive as well. James Johnson, he's been crazy consistent at that price. He's around the same price as well on FanDuel. He's been decent, When he gets the minutes, he's been pretty decent. He ran into a hiccup right here between Golden State and Milwaukee, and he just didn't get the minutes right there. But he has upside on his price tag. Willie Reed hasn't been having a lot of success against Drummond. Like I said, last time these two teams met, Whiteside did not play. Willie Reed played 18 minutes, and he got 4 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. So, Haslam played 21 minutes that game. So, he did not get, a lot of minutes. But anything can happen on any given day. Ellington, another player that I don't mind. He's getting the minutes, 4,300, around the same price on FanDuel. Exceeding value, that's what you want. Waiters has been playing well as well, so he's someone you can take a look at. The price is like creeping up every day. Someone who I probably don't even play. With that being said, I'll move over to the next game. Boston and Milwaukee. We got totals coming in on this one at 215. Boston at favored by 2. Boston favored by 2. It's an interesting matchup here. We're gonna go over to the Boston side of things. First thing we got to do is keep an eye out on the injury situation to Horford and Bradley. That news was just so surprising. I pointed out some value plays yesterday, so I'm quite sure we know, what we're working with. I did not point out Jaylen Brown because it's hard to. I didn't even know the Boston was going to blow out Orlando like that. It surprised me, but he had a career high yesterday of 20 points, and he's still priced at minimum price, so that's something to look out at. Chebrecko, he'll be in play. But you got to guess how the game is going to go. Like I said, yesterday was a blowout. Amir Johnson, what did he do? 22 minutes, 21 fantasy points. So everybody put their hands in the cookie jar yesterday. I wasn't too fond of rostering Olenek yesterday with the value that was beneath him at like the bare minimum. I just went ahead and went for that. But I don't mind the plays. Minutes have been down. He didn't get the start yesterday, and that was another big reason why I didn't play him. Going on up here to the starters, though, Jay Crowder. Can't say enough about how consistent he's been. I like the play. I don't mind. I somewhat tend to target small forwards against against Milwaukee. So I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. I like the price on Marcus Smart. It didn't move. He's someone who I feel like is in play as well. I want to run a quick price check on Smart. Okay, so he's the same on Fanduel. And Isaiah Thomas, he's 10K on DraftKings on Fanduel, and he's 9,400 on DraftKings. He's got to really put up some buckets. Someone who I don't really roster, but to hit that price tag, he gets buckets. Don't get me wrong, he gets buckets, but he got to keep on getting them, and his peripherals though, man, the last 3 games they've been nice. They've been pretty nice, So he's gonna have to keep that up. But outstanding player overall, man. Somebody who I just rarely roster, and it could be, it can hurt me sometimes, and sometimes I could benefit from it. So on FanDuel, he's 10K. On DraftKings, he's 94. So be it. On the Milwaukee side of things, it's pretty much what you see is what you get. ABC, he needs to stay out of foul trouble so he can hit that value for you. Jabari Parker, I love the price. They priced him somewhere like Batum, someone who I like. Yesterday's he was priced at 7K. I told you guys I loved him then. Unfortunately, I only do one lineup. Couldn't get him in. Wish I would have played him over Melo, and then I would have been able to upgrade somewhere else. It don't even matter though. Melo was priced decent at 7,300. Someone who's 71, like I say, 7,100. He provides upside on that price tag. Somebody who I do not mind. On Fanduel, he's 7,900. So there you have it. You got an 800 difference if you want to figure out which site you want to play him on. Greg Monroe, you got to pick and choose your spots. What days you think? Uh, uh, what days you think Jason Kidd would want to play him? Jason Kidd is pretty frustrating when it comes to DFS. Tough matchup for Della Vadova. You got to pay attention to what starting lineups that the Bucks are going to roll out. He could be a nice play though. Brogdon as well. He's got a tough defensive assignment. He is a pretty good defender. Keep that in mind. Cheaper options down here. GPP darts. That's all I can say. I'm gonna go on over to this Golden State LA Clippers game. It's an interesting game. Blake Griffin is back. I'm gonna look at the Clippers side of things. Do I have the totals for this one? 222, Golden State by 11. When you're playing Golden State, players get a bump, fast pace, plenty points to be scored. Sometimes Vegas, can be misleading. Keep that in mind. Chris Paul is out. Blake Griffin coming in at 7,700. Last game, first game back, he played almost 30 minutes. I don't mind the play. He'll probably see Draymond Green. He's trying to get in rhythm at 7,700. There's always possibility for him going off. DeAndre Jordan, I like to play. Austin Rivers, I like to play in an up case, in an up tempo game. I don't like the price though. I ain't even gonna lie. FanDuel, what is the price on FanDuel? It's 5,900. So don't get me wrong. He can hit. This is the highest I've ever seen him. I'm just not. That's just unusual for me to see him priced that high. Jamal Crawford, somebody who can get buckets. I can see him reaching, value on that price tag. Don't mind Redick. I would love to see a shootout from this game. On the Golden State side of things, these guys, the top four, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then you got Zaza Pachulia out there, just throwing the elbows, being I don't know, man. I don't know what's gotten into him. He's being the tough guy over there. You got Zod. He's out there, trying to be the enforcer. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. The starting lineup. These guys are in play. You can pick your poison. Best thing I got for you guys on this is you can get Kevin Durant for 9,500 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, you can get him for 10-4. So that's a whole 900 difference. That's something to look at. Curry's priced at 9K on FanDuel, and he's 8,600 on DraftKings. Draymond Green is priced at 7,800 on FanDuel, and Klay Thompson is priced at 6,300. So there you have it. But on the Golden State side, everybody's just about to play. For Brooklyn and Minnesota, totals we have on this one: Minnesota by 11, Brooklyn Minnesota by 11, total of 219. So there you have it. With Brooklyn, on the Brooklyn side of things, it's self-explanatory. Keep an eye out for the injuries. Basically, the whole team is value. That's all. You know. And on the Minnesota side, it's just a game they should win. You know, actually, these two teams played. I could probably let me see. When the last time these two teams played back in November, I can give you some noticeable performances. Wiggins went for 36, 36 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists. 2 assists. Gorgie Jang had 8, 2, and 3. Karl Anthony Towns had 21, 7, and 4. Zach LaVine, 17 points. You know, on the net side of things, Trevor Booker had 15 and 9. House Jefferson had 13 and 4. Brook Lopez 26 and 3. Sean Kilpatrick 14 and 3. And that's about it. Like I said, on the Brooklyn side of things, they rested about 3 players yesterday. Keep an eye out on the rest situation. You duck that situation, pretty much the rest of the guys can be of some value for you. But Minnesota, Towns in play, Wiggins in play, Rubio in play, Levine's in play, Jang's in play. Just amount of, if you think, you got to wait to see how competitive you think this game can be. Barring any late scratches or anything like that. Moving over to the Denver game. Denver, this game here is like, it's going to be some fantasy gold in this one. We got a total of 230 points. Phoenix by 3. These two teams just played. Phoenix at home. Denver side of things. Get well soon to Nikola Jokic. He's only supposed to miss a couple games. That's a good thing. So right off the back, there's some value over here in this one. Yusuf Nurkic, something I want to point out. Soon as Jokic hit the deck last game, as you can see, he was priced at $3K. They instantly shot him up 1,300. So that's something to look at, something to think about. They should have just left him at 3K. What are you guys thinking about? Anyway, he's coming in at value for you. Like I said, the injury situation is kind of crazy over here. Moutier is out as well. Jameer Nelson, interesting play. Last time these two teams played, he had a very nice game. Played 42 minutes. He's a veteran. He knows how to play basketball. He knows what to do. Everybody, in the star lineup, the main guys are going to get a semi-uptick while Jokic being out. His usage is insane. Gallinari, someone who I like, Wilson Chandler. I don't mind, any of these guys. They're pretty much in play. You're just going to have to nail it down, especially with this point total. It's going to be awesome, especially if Vegas is right. We know Denver can score. Gallinari, I don't mind him. I don't mind Chandler. Barton, interesting play there with ball handling skills. Fareed, Harris, these guys are in play. You can look for a cheap option, Darrell Arthur, someone who can be efficient, it's priced at minimum, So if you want to get a bare minimum piece of this game, keep an eye out on Darrell Arthur. He can hit value. On Phoenix side of things, it's interesting. If I want to look at a few cheaper options on this side of the ball, you can look at Marquise Chris. Coming in at 3,100. I don't see him getting into too much foul trouble, So if he can stay out of foul trouble, it'll be definitely he can return some something nice on that 3,100 price tag. Brandon Knight, someone who I played in my late night last time these two teams played. A cheap option, that's all. He was at 3,300. He gave me 25 fantasy points. Something I was surprised, but I still didn't even cash in that late night. So, but it's just somebody you can look at. Maybe if you're playing a late night or whatever. But moving up over, to the nitty gritty. Two interesting plays here. T.J. Warren and P.J. Tucker. T.J. Warren, the more offensive of the two. P.J. Tucker, he logs a ton of minutes, especially for defensive purposes. You see 36, 32, 34, so on and so forth. 4,400 price tag, somebody who does get minutes. If they decide to go small, they can throw P.J. Tucker at the 4, Warren at the 3, and vice versa. Last game, they went small. He played about 41 minutes. He returned 33 fantasy points. Took 16 shot attempts. Just something to look at. Something to look at. Both teams can go small. Tyson Chandler. I'm looking for Tyson Chandler to bounce back in this one. Last game, he didn't do. He disappointed some folks. His price came down to $6K on Fanduel. He's priced at same thing. So I don't mind some Tyson Chandler. We got a big discrepancy here with Eric Bledsoe. I love the play. He's 8,900 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel, he is 9,700. So he's 9,700 on FanDuel. He's 8,700, 8,900 on DraftKings. You be the judge. Devin Booker, someone who logs the minutes, can get hot, takes his shots. And that's what you like. He's coming in at 7K. We know he can hit that value. It's interesting to see who Gary Harris would be guarding. If he takes Bledsoe, or does he take Booker? But I don't mind the play. Overall, I just think that game should be great for fantasy. Moving over to Memphis and Utah, a grind out game. These two teams just played, I'd rather not even get into it because it was an ugly game. We got totals coming out at 188, ugly totals, slow grinded out games. I tend to like bigs in those games. So Utah is at home. Marc Gasol, he will step out and shoot the 3. Somebody who I'm probably not on, Rudy Gobert. Somebody who I don't mind. I don't mind Conley either. He's the grinded out type of point guard. Gordon Hayward, somebody who I'm not on. Keep in mind this is your hammer game, so if you can find somebody, out of the bunch who you think who can do well, I ain't mad at you. I'm the type of guy who does and don't mind taking shots. So there you have it. And with that being said, this is the slate that we have on tap today. I wish you guys good luck. You can check the links below. My Twitter at Denzel1. Links to the Facebook groups. We're over 6,000 members. We're winning money over there. We're sharing strategies. You know what I'm saying? We all love to help each other, and that's the main thing. I try to give you guys a tip when I close out my videos. The best thing I can tell you is excuse me. Best thing I can tell you at this moment is to be responsible when you're putting your putting your hard-earned money into this. So with that being said, guys, I'm out of there. Peace. Until next time.